Kait wrote the character of Ginny, which was the first character we released. That was last week, last Monday. Kait, what has this all been like for you this week? We'll let you start into it, and then we'll get into the others. And, have you enjoyed the reactions to Ginny that you've been seeing?
I have. At first, there were a couple people who kind of didn't understand what the project was about. And I tend to be very blunt with people, which most of the blog that I wrote in reaction was in reaction to the people who didn't understand, that this was a concept where we're mashing together the Hunger Games and Harry Potter, or people who didn't understand that some of Ginny's story was an homage to Katniss. And I know that was weird, but for the most part, it's been very positive, and it's been really cool to see what everyone has to say. And it's been a lot of fun just seeing everybody going, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this part, and they're trying to figure it out, and everyone's talking and working together, and they're so excited when they get through. And it's just so cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. And for the remainder of the people on here, and maybe someone, by the way, if someone can post on the hashtag Kait's article, if you just go to victorsvillage.wordpress.com, you should be able to find it in the list there. Maybe someone can post it in the Twitter hashtag HGFiresideChat, so everyone listening can see it who hasn't had a chance. I love your really funny Justin Bieber line in there that some people may appreciate. But we've got also, now we've released 7 of the 24 characters, and that would be Ginny, Fred, Hannah Abbott, which was done brilliantly by Shyla Adante. She's not on the podcast this week, but tremendous applause to her, who had the challenge of taking a character who many people were bitter about even being in there. They were complaining and saying, why is Hannah Abbott in here? And left some of them saying it was their favorite character. That's extraordinary. I was getting almost emotional reading her Hannah Abbott report. So that was fantastic. We also have in there Victor Crumb is out, Lavender Brown, not always a favorite, but a fun one to play, and of course Hermione Granger, a popular character to say the least in the Harry Potter series. And I think Colin Creevy is the other one who's out. That was done by our good friend Kait from Hunger Games Trilogy, who couldn't call in. But we have some people on the line whose characters have yet to come out, and I thought they could give you a little preview of maybe what to expect. So we'll start with Ariel. Ariel, maybe you want to talk about Katie Bell for a second. And is there any hint or clue or just kind of something to keep in mind that you would want people to use when they play her as she gets released later this month?
Oh, gosh. Well, she was an interesting character to write because I am so far from being a Gryffindor myself that, it was interesting trying to write one. And I gave her some plot lines that I thought might be a little interesting and probably a little fan fiction-y, but nevertheless. So I think that what you need to understand when you play Katie is that she is the Gryffindor, and that she's quite brave, but also in some ways she's... Oh, no, I can't say that either, because there aren't any, rules for her, because she makes very different decisions. There's not one type of decision that she makes in the same way every time. Every decision stands on its own that you need to make.
No, and I've read over some of it. I'm not going to lie. It's very, very good. Katie Bell is definitely one to look forward to. Another one to look forward to is Cedric Diggory. And Crystal, you've had a hand in that. It's not the only one you've worked on, but would you say that's the one you worked on the most, that has your most personal stamp on it?
I think I actually wrote the whole thing, so I actually put a whole lot of time into this one. But, people, of course people want to win, but I put some Twilight jokes into the wrong choices, so if you want to go and pick what you think is the wrong choice, it might be amusing for you too, so.
Yeah, I've noticed, Harry Potter Hunger Games, a lot of overlap. Twilight, not so much. And I was reading this, and I was saying, Cedric Diggory, I remember reading the 4th book, and it was so sad when, sorry to ruin it for anybody, when something bad happened to him. Maybe that's my way of not spoiling it. And then, you go on here, and you have people saying things like, die, Robert Pattinson. I mean, I know he did Twilight, but even if you don't like Twilight, that doesn't mean you should hate Cedric Diggory as a character. He's not such a bad guy.
He was Cedric before he was Edward, so he should be excused.
So, no, it's just very interesting, that phenomenon. And before we go on to the next person, I just want to also ask, you've done some work on I think, a little on Cormac maybe, or is it on Victor Crabbe you've done a little bit?
Oh, it's Crabbe, yeah.
Okay. Anything exciting that people should look out for there?
I mostly worked on how he died, so hopefully people enjoy that.
That's exciting for a lot of people, actually. Some people are just looking forward to Crabbe dying. and you know what? In the movie, people didn't have that luxury because the actor who plays Crabbe is in jail. So they weren't able to have him.
Really?
Yeah. Did anyone else? Ariel, I know you noticed that in the movie.
He was black. Crabbe was racially changed.
Right, Zacharias. No, sorry, Blaze. Right, Blaze.
Blaze
has replaced Crabbe because Crabbe is in prison.
I did notice that the guy was totally different. I just thought, maybe they just changed it around, but I didn't know he was in jail. That's odd.
I was wondering how they thought that people wouldn't notice that all of a sudden he wasn't white anymore.
It's kind of like how in the first movie Professor Flitwick was like really old with like a big white beard, and then like he slowly like grew younger as the film progressed. He de-aged. He gave himself like a magic makeover or something. I don't know.
Maybe he's the one who has the Sorcerer's Stone.
The first Dumbledore, I didn't like the actor, and I was like, oh, he looks so old, like he's gonna die, and then he did die, and I felt so horrible.
Oh God, that's awful.
I know, I felt so bad. We're horrible people.
So, that's great. You can't blame us for talking about the movie. I mean, this has been, it swept the box office, set records, the one-day record on Friday, the weekend record. I wanted to go so badly. I went at midnight, even though I had a 7 a.m. flight the next morning. I just didn't sleep. I went to California straight from Harry Potter, and it was worth every minute. I don't regret that one bit. And I'm excited to go see it multiple times this week, probably. But, just to get everybody in here, Theresa, you've been working on a character, some people might say he's a little bit important to the story. I don't know. Is Harry Potter an important character in Harry Potter?
No, not at all. He's just a background character.
There's a lot of pressure on you, to do the Harry storyline.
Don't even. Yes. Oh, yeah. Tons and tons of, oh, gosh. I just hope people like what I did. It's a tough character to write in this scenario, I think. So it's, putting in, and plus the fact that, if he lives, the whole thing is if he lives, just by living, Voldemort's not going to be happy. So it's like, it's tough because, you get to the end and you're like, oh, if Harry is victorious, then Voldemort's unhappy. If Harry dies, Voldemort's happy. So, but it was a challenge, and I hope I met that challenge. I just hope. I'm proud of what I wrote, and I just hope other people like it too.
I think people definitely will like it. I'm not worried about that at all. The reaction so far, as I said, has been pretty amazing. It's been almost the only thing that people have really complained about is they want more characters, and I understand that, and we're actually working on that. But we just wanted to make the site up to a high level of performance so everyone could enjoy it.